Welcome to Taking the Rams by the Horns, a podcast that takes current affairs out of current affairs. This is an award-winning podcast in partnership with Sowetan Live. I'm your host, Rams Mabote. So on Sunday, I was minding my business, catching up with football. Now that football is back, European football and stuff. And then I get a phone call, somebody saying, hey, switch on to ENCA. And who was on ENCA? Miss Tebogo Malaka. There she is on television on another Sunday, setting the record straight about her fateful encounter with Peter Louis Mybeck the previous week. Well, I won't recap. For context, go to the previous episode, right? I gave all context about her previous meeting with Peter Louis Mybeck. So today, I want to talk about the ENCA interview she had. She was clearly emboldened because it's a different platform. And I suspect she also felt more comfortable around a black journalist. And she probably was even promised a fair hearing, to give her side of the story. And she gave us a rundown of what happened at the erstwhile Stellenbosch wine farm.
I never had the opportunity to confront him about what has been happening. And the first thing I asked him was, why do you hate me so much?
She confronted him? Like, confront? It didn't seem like it to me. It seems like she had gone to meet this guy who had been wanting to talk to her and was always talking to the spokesperson. But now in this case, she confronted him. But it gets even more exciting. Why do you hate me? She wants to be loved. So she gets away from her home again on this particular Sunday to go speak to another journalist about why the previous journalist hates her. What's with Tebogo Malaka? Why do you do this to yourself? And within minutes, she went on to the crux of the matter.
I have had discussions with Mr. Pasha, and we had agreed on working relationship moving forward, and I had asked for a token of appreciation. And I said, I don't know anything about that. Maybe let us call Mr. Pasha then to come back.
Indeed, when Mr. Pasha, the spokesperson, got back into this chat between her and the other journalist in Stellenbosch, maybe I should put them that way, the Stellenbosch journalist and the Johannesburg journalist. You'll know which one is which, right? So when Pasha got back and joined them, he unleashed the now infamous 60,000 token of appreciation. You see, the problem is that the more she speaks, the more she brings out more stuff that should not be coming out. And she thinks she's defending herself. She thinks she's setting the record straight. Well, but note, the suspended CEO, by the way, did not know about this token of appreciation. She says she heard about it first from the Stellenbosch journalist, right? And then, of course, when Pasha got back onto the setting, he then unleashed this token of appreciation. Let me tell you. And trust me, hey, I'm no CEO material. I'm just a podcaster. But if I were CEO of a multi-billion rand institute who does projects that are huge worth millions of rand, and there's a talk about a token of appreciation for somebody outside my organization, let alone a journalist, I would want to know what that token is and what it is for. But not our CEO. She didn't know, right? She just didn't know. It was between the journalist and her spokesperson, because actually she says, because he knows about these things, he's the one who speaks to the media. Oh, God. And then, of course, she drops another bombshell.
I would argue that I was set up, because now when Mr. Pasha came back, the journalist kept saying, Mr. Pasha, where is the token of appreciation? Where is the token of appreciation? And Mr. Pasha then took out the money. I assume that's what they had talked about before, because they have met several times before. But then when the media reports and the video came out, it's me But I never had the money. I never took out the money.
I don't know about you, but it seems she's throwing Pasha under the bus here, or maybe under the wine farm, under a very serious dollop of grapes in the wine farm. Who exactly set her up? Because I don't think she could say Peter Louis Maybeck set her up. It would be then the guy who came with the money to give to the journalist who set her up because she did not know about it. It's not the other way around. It's not like Peter Louis Maybeck, was seen asking for a bribe and then they gave it and then he was setting them up. No. So who set her up? Tebogo, who set you up? Maybe I should speak to her, not to you guys who watch this podcast. Because if Pasha did not know about the token of appreciation, logic dictates to me, he would not have played ball, right? So if only the Stellenbosch journalist knew about the token of appreciation, only he would have known, and Pasha also would have been confused. What are you talking about, meneer? Ons weet nie wat praat jy van. Waarvan? Is my Afrikaans okay? I last did it in 1988, so forgive me. So who exactly set up our esteemed CEO here? Note that throughout the entire interview, our intrepid journalist, Wanpule Lichwiti Jones of ENCA, is asking some of the toughest questions only an innocent CEO could answer. Like?
This video was edited and chopped and doctored.
Yeah. If you look at the entire video, it would not show exactly what is narrated out there. It will show exactly how the meeting went. And I was never part of a token of appreciation or a bribery, or I never went there with the intention to bribe anyone. I have had a very bad relationship with this journalist. Why on earth would I then fly over and meet someone for the first time and offer a bribery?
Many would have browned their pants after such questions, but she knows that she should not have done this. Who did she hear this from? This podcast. So we know now that she also watches this podcast. One more subscriber. Ha! I hope she doesn't go to jail, but they do get cell phones that you can watch from there. In the meantime, our ENCA reporter continued to ask more tough questions.
Your foundation claims that this video was doctored. It's not a true reflection of what happened. So please, tell us your side of the story, your view, what really transpired there.
So, when the interview ended, which I thought did not help her much, although she was convinced that she was setting the record straight, the real strategy came out. I went straight to X, formerly known as Twitter. And what was there? What was trending on X? 2 hashtags. Hashtag Tebogo Malaka setting the record, and hashtag behind Tebogo Malaka. I like the second one. It is too giving. It is too obvious behind Tebogo Malaka, right? Almost immediately at the end of the interview, it was wild on X. The post by some of the strangest people with even strangest or stranger comments and names. Like, one of them, at Shoki Pay, a.k.a. Abi or AB. It says, a headline is not a verdict. Tebogo Malaka is entitled to fairness, not judgment by media narratives. Whenever you hear the word narrative, you must know something is happening here. People who use that word is because they can't use the right words that need to be used for whatever that needs to be said. And then I went to check Shoki Pay. I thought maybe I should find out because Shoki Pay does not have a proper name and I don't know whether they are a he or a she. I went to check previous tweets or posts. Most of them are about KFC. Yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, dunked wings, and somewhere a singer called Azudi, I don't know, Azuredi, I don't know how to pronounce these names. But I think Shoki Pay is more connected with KFC matters than media issues. But anyway, Shoki Pay posted. And then there was Manyangila, a.k.a. Blossom. I like these names. Manyangila says, social media noise is not evidence. Tebogo Malaka has been consistent in her stance. she has been consistent in denying what has been said about her. Let's move on. Owarafela, I like this one most. I mean, it's a beautiful name, Owarafela, aka 333. Quote, the actions being taken against her are unquestionably unjust. We expressed our full support for her. I have often wondered, why do people post and say we when they're writing in their personal capacity? Who's we in this case? Do you follow the drift here? Why would it be we when it's you saying this? And if it's we, tell us then who we are, right? I mean, there's only one person who speaks in the we format. It's Floyd Chibambu. And I suspect because he's so big, he thinks of him as a we. But this royal we thing, I don't understand. So Owarafela saying we, I don't know who Owarafela is referring to in this case. And then there was Arehone, a.k.a. Arehone M4. And I quote, we live in a country where women in leadership are torn down with edited clips. Oh, now it's about women in leadership. Ah, I see. I'm sure at this point, a number of women in leadership are gnashing their teeth and trembling because they're next, right? Arehone, right? This was too obvious, guys. Followed by Brownie Baby. Baby it's a Babiey, a.k.a. chocolate. That's my favorite now. This is my favorite post of all the posts. And I quote it. When a person says, I did not know, I did not do this, why do we insist on twisting it? Malaka has spoken. What do you mean? What do you mean? You cannot say this. So the fact that she has spoken, that's it? Like, we should take it? It's gospel truth? No, it doesn't work that way. The fact that she has spoken does not mean she has to be left alone. It does not work that way. Come on, fellows. That's not how it works. So in short, her word is final, right? Nobody should ask her any more questions, which probably explains why our journalists from the ENCA, did I say CNA? I'm showing my age. ENCA was not asking tough questions, right? Because maybe she has spoken and therefore nobody else should ask questions. There was another tweet by somebody called Nova_Circuit 7, aka Nova. And I quote, social media loves a scandal, but not every trending story is the truth. Tebogo Malaka has set the record straight. I did not walk away from the interview with ENCA feeling that the record was set straight. In fact, I got more confused by that interview. I said to myself, one, why would you go back and give another interview when the previous one got you into trouble? You are already facing a possible criminal charge for allegedly offering a bribe. And I say allegedly because it has to go to a court of law, right? Which lawyer, if you're working with a lawyer, Tebogo, would allow you to go and do yet another interview? What did you think the end game was here? Or yet again, you thought because you were appealing to this journalist now from ENCA that they would be kinder to you. Well, I actually think that they led you on because they asked you the softest of questions so that you just tell your story and walk away feeling that Bachelile. No, you didn't. You did not, in one way or another, disprove what Peter Louis Maybeck is accusing you of. You did not refute anything. You may deny, but denial is not refutal. Please check the dictionary. Even Google will show you. They are not the same thing. You did not refute the allegations that were made about you. Instead, what you did, you went onto this interview, you set up the Arehone, the Warafelas, the Nova Circuits, and went on the Pottinger Gupta strategy. That we're going to do this and then we're going to flood social media with our people, whether they're real or they're bots, we don't know, and therefore they will speak for us. Well, it was only those people who spoke for you, Tebogo. There are many other people that are not speaking for you, and there's one place that is waiting for you. It's a court of law. I cannot speak about the next one. And as a human being, I obviously, honestly, and I mean honestly, hope that from the court of law you don't progress to Minister Groeneval's department, correctional services. I pray for you it doesn't get there. But here's my advice. I gave you unsolicited advice last week. I'm giving you another solicited advice. Stay away from the media and prepare your defense strategy legally. Spin is not legal defense, if you call this spin, by the way, because it's not even spin. I mean, again, is this a family trust again advising you to do this? Because I'm sure they would not have been happy. In fact, no, actually. Maybe they are the family trust. These guys were posting these tweets. Maybe actually is the family trust. Okay. So, here's the verdict as I conclude. Well, the verdict is more questions than stuff, but why go on a media campaign now? Especially if you're not coming up with something new to show that Daily Maverick and Peter Louis Maybeck are lying or mistaken or omitted something. There are many stories happening as we speak. The silent dialogue, the Proteas choking again, Dricus losing because Trump is no longer with him, Sundowns finding a 58th supporter in the referee. You could have just said quiet. There are many things people were talking about. You decided, no, I have to be in the news myself too. Isn't it curious to you that you couldn't find Pasha when he went away during your conversation with the journalist? But it took Peter Louis Maybeck one call to locate him. I mean, your Olivia Pope, that's Pasha, disappears from you and a journalist finds him with one phone call? Nah, my sister. No. Look, I'm sure there are many people, at least 8 of them on Twitter or X, that are convinced you are right. I am not convinced you are right. I am not convinced by your story. The game is simple. I know the game you're playing. Discredit the media and hopefully turn the sentiment, right? We have seen it before. 3 brothers from some small town in India came here, took over the country, and then started discrediting the media using the same strategy. But they had more money. They had millions of bots doing this thing. You can't bring us 8. That's not enough. You need a bigger budget to do something like that and then flee the country. What are you going to do after this? What's the next thing? Well, they say when you find yourself in hell, keep walking. Well, you did not. You danced in the fire. Now you're burning. I am sorry for you. This was not a good strategy. I advise you once again, relax, stay home, and read The Sweetest Taboo. It's much better than any trouble you can get yourself into. From me, Rems Mabote, goodbye and God bless.